Hi, I'm Tom Blomain. Welcome to Graffiti. I'm going to read a poem by Scranton poet Jennifer Diskin. This is called Greek is Not Easy to Learn. The Greeks invented the word pathology, pathos, the suffering, logos,
the study of.
of.
She inhabits dead languages quicker than others. White lace strands stand stoic and graceful on a small laboratory glass specimen, like when she walked down the aisle and they took pictures. She hasn't fought a day and still she misses the cursive's twists. She can be a writer, can't she? A to Z isn't amputated overnight. First, the doctor steals a finger and cuts a vowel. What can one do with E, I, O, U? Then the surgeon takes a hand and half the consonants go missing. Her bridal slide is a picture no one asks to see. Blue dot tattoos versus Tinkerbell fairies. My tattoo is a blue dot marked by a radiologist. I didn't get the impish fairy, a cool homage to the mysteries of my Celtic heritage. The druid secrets carried on wings. Oh, to wear wings, to wear wings. I didn't choose tribal images, the latest ink everybody's getting. I didn't go to a trendy parlor with a padded massage table. I couldn't pick the leg marked with a thorny rose. Crimson petals unfurling my boyfriend's name, printed in pink, bright calligraphy along my calf. The Japanese character I had to check for on the online dictionary. Peace, tranquility, joy. Is there a difference? Those Zen diatribes inscribed on the small of the back and then meditated on with Mad Dog and understood. One sharp needle from the bearded bald guy at the tattoo palace who wears Cleopatra as his mistress along his arm. Egypt's queen carries her hourglass figure around the bicep and never misses a moment to touch. I didn't get Tinkerbell like the waifs in the gym. Peter Pan's tiny love buddy penciled above where her sweatpants are rolled down. Her nimble body flittering along numb skeletons who use Dad's credit card. Tinkerbell's the superstar of animated pixies catwalking across every American anorexic's over-exercised, undersized thighs. I got my tattoo finished on a metal table. A physician marks my stomach, not with the sweet, hard hurt of a man going inside, but filled with the needling pinch he leaves after he pulls out and shrivels up. Trying to find punk rock in a city that only listens to polkas. Seriously, what happened to CBGBs? Joey Ramone ranting on the Bowery, I want to be sedated, right here where standards scream as well as you can with dentures. Is that all there is? Peggy Lee croons philosophy as if her blonde voice will prophesy the answer. Scranton, how I love your Gothic architecture, but how long can we take credit for what our ancestors dug? Until I'm a cut-up apple, a still life, a life still browning, edible, until you take a bite. Here, the most popular dance is polka, bobbing on Saturday night public television. In heaven, there is no beer is a tune that breaks my ankle in the same place over and over and over again. When I fantasize about pink hair, I must abandon trips to the grocery store as forms of recreation. When the wash excites me more than the UPS man delivering the gadget for cutting up carrots, can forming the new Sex Pistols be such a bad idea? Still, I eat my halushki and hear the clash of London calling. You haul it away, it's yours. It's all about the auction couch, $100 and the 10 U-Haul calls it took to get the couch inside the door. We lift one side in and then the other, so nothing's damaged. Yes, I answer to your long drive in the car posed question. Someday I do want kids. I crave the poetry of baseball practices, of going over spelling and phonics, of a man who helps the blue-collar day become less sad. the thing that happens after the radio's turned off and we find lakes and countrysides so beautiful they should be illegal, or at least give our eyes a citation and a warning not to glance again at the scenic overpass. These weekends are like Norman Rockwell paintings, pleasant to look at, but something I'm afraid won't stay on the wall. After the auction, I can't drive in the rain. I was never good with water. Showers and long downpours just block the vision. Those pellets of hydrogen and oxygen bring flowers, bring babies, but no one ever leaves a cradle outside without an umbrella or a mature adult. I won't disappear like the moldy old couch smell. I will stay long after the cargo van gets returned and all my chairs are put in their place. I glow in the virtue of contemplating temptation and settling for the etiquette of salons where we sit on sofas and discuss politics and history, Edwardian or Victorian art. Some art has to have a person's first name to make the paint legitimate. We are Sir and Madam upper crusted, sipping aperitifs with our white dresses and white suits, Gatsby and Daisy lookalikes. No one can tell we're not new money, we're barely middle class. We are lost socialists who could have been Paris, who could have been Berlin or any romantic version, early 20th century bohemians who didn't know they had a right to kiss during wartime. We move my new purchase home. We keep a ring and kids lit in the candle we burn on our coffee tables. Those wax angels flap flames every night and keep us warm. They're tired of working the Guardian all-night shift, blowing the fire out before we do. Joan Crawford couldn't strangle herself with wire or plastic hangers. She could play Mildred Pierce, the apron-wearing housewife who guards her children with arms circling like halos full of gold devotion. Mercy dripping from every unfacelifted pore. Joan Crawford never likes to cook but admires what's clean. The director cuts to one Beverly Hills bathroom where she throws down Comet and makes her kids scrub away the ugly. She fails the screen test of pretty. I flunked pretty too. Peonies in small town backyards. RTI jazz on a beat-up radio, and this course has sandpaper distance between us, as if the friction could make us explode or at least have brush burns. You want intimacy, and I do too. We eat key lime pie and drink frothy cappuccino. I want this house to scream Paris, to live like an expatriate, to speak French like you do. Anais Nin fawning for her Henry Miller. Charlie Parker struggles to pull me into this paneled kitchen. I know this plays like the lies of jazz, like the lies of every standard. Then you take me outside to the garden, Eden across from the hospital. And this Wednesday takes on the myth of Adam and Eve. As we pick peonies in a small town backyard, just ripe, just what is needed to make me believe this may be right. Peonies, pink flowers in a vase, dead stems that suck up water and still want more. Luscious bursts of color, the sweet wild I'll never hold. I want to believe in peonies as petals fall before summer begins.
Here's some poetry from the Dallas poet Don Leese. Driving with the windows open. A voice from the past called today. Fluid, baritone, calm, static. It's penetrating
timber, men's long forgotten lines. Entwines whispers and wind. in hair let down to roam summer heat. From the comfort of a faraway land, it sings a language laced with a belief in second chances. Secrets. She remembers yesterday to pass the minutes of today. Days spent adorned by flowers, pink posies, her favorite, listening to stories, frivolously embellished and starkly honest, gazing at an amber field blazing across the way, and welcoming family, friends, and the occasional passerby. Year followed by year followed by year. Cold, snow, heat, rain, wind. The cycle tires her. Cold, snow, heat, rain, wind. She succumbs to her tiredness. Slip of dress, once trim and neatly pressed, now slack and shabby, threadbare of all entanglements, grant silent refuge, no questions asked. She remembers to remain faithful and hopeful. She anticipates visitors any day now. Beauty, forever feminine, remains behind closed door. Wood, screen, linen, wood, veil secrets during twilight life. She's tired, but still welcoming. Turning 40. On duty for neighborhood watch, leafy eyes meander over a thick diagonal pattern, cut twice. An ornamental pear peers through darkened windows, catching a glimpse of life lived on the other side of the street. Thin branches stretch through pane, picking their way along a guitar riff, late on Saturday night. The tree scribbles notes as jazz trumpet picks up beat of a family in tune. Drums keep pace with a life on the move. Flower girl. Her ocean eyes speak to no one. A blonde tendril drips droplets of sweat. Red clay, black soil, mix a stain for porcelain fingers. She knows work in blooming rows of violet, alabaster, fire, and sunbursts. A drone tending beds of privileged, erasing traces of ugliness. Dirty hands bundle her work for a sliver of flashing bulbs. Petals cascade into cool blackness. In the evening, she bathes with words, washes her stained fingers with thank you, works you are good into her hands, rubs I love you on her arms, applies you are beautiful to her legs, asks mother to dry her with, you are my porcelain bouquet of innocence. Public transportation. Misunderstood and misjudged, mass transit is not a sinkhole of undesirables, but a busy bevy of creative opportunity. Because no topic is taboo, no thought sacred, no spoken word off limits. And because no writer is completely original, take a trip on a daily run to find hidden ideas. Pure necessity brings out a cross-cultural crowd, but if you stand on personal conviction, say you ride to save money, a tree, a pinhole of odorless ozone. But be honest with me. Tell me your story and I'll tell you mine. Be careful what you ask for. The hurt conveyed may just drive you to the isolation of a used Honda commute, where stories can't be heard, and the price to pay isn't as high as a downtown token. Night vision. I run into the languid arms of a summer evening, a warm welcome on an empty street. Deep breathing strengthens stride, shakes thoughts free. Rubber slaps macadam, still hot from a day of baking. It's the only sound interrupting a lonely cricket symphony, lost beyond hum of artificial air. I run by glowing amber boxes, shelter for neighbors afraid of venturing into heavy heat, an escape for children who forget traditions of flashlight tag. Quickening speed draws childhood memories from dusty corners. Fireflies dance, a graceful plea for capture long ignored. Circling wide loop once more, lines of geography blur. I run under hazy moonlight through thickening night, each step wiping away mundaneness of life in suburbia. Impact. With night chasing, she runs on ragged breath. Black ink draws sky, trees, road, envelops her vision. From the corner, a flash of fur freezes, then bone against black metal, then quiet still. Bewildered, black eyes hold her stare before disappearing over shadowy rise. Shaken, she questions her bold run into dark country. Water dream. I dreamt of you in blue-green waters, swimming electricity in the air. Hazy questions hover, afraid to touch your lips. Buoyed by weight of emotions, you push a foaming crest toward me. White waves turn over thoughts like driftwood. The waters plead, stay longer. Beyond your imagination. Rhythms of history grow silent, hesitant heels on polished wood, soft clomping of regulation boots, short whistle blasts impatient with late arriving passengers, the undeniable notes of moonlight serenade. Rhythms of life, courtship, marriage, new life, interrupted by loss, passages, changes in direction, hang in its rafters. Foxtrot, tango, swing, rumba, switching partners, switching tracks, fade to black. A vacant stand for 2 generations since last train pulled out. Proud posture hides behind weakening mask. Its eaves shade black hollow eyes asking for solitude, but left wanting companionship. The forest, fluid, flowing, and full, prepares a canopy, a long-awaited rest for the weary. Black hollow eyes close, fall back into comforting arms. Trenchcoat man. Standing tall on the corner of success and failure, he's dressed in Brooks Brother blue, a white shirt steamed to perfection, a tie knotted just so tight to cause slight discomfort, and a trench coat his grandfather wore every day of his working life, rain or shine. And he stands solemnly looking at his choices, as if waiting for his future to swoop down like an angry hawk, clawing its way to freedom. The emancipation of an overworked man. Life, a bubbling hot spring in its apprentice years, when only devoted to career, soon becomes a dry, cracked basin. Days pile into weeks, weeks turn to months, months grow into years, in a fog of wings, flying arrows, and lifelong love matches. Balancing work and play is like riding a teeter-totter. Work always outweighs play, feet forever dangling mid-air, begging for a minute of undivided attention. But you know how work works, enveloping you into its folds with false words, like, we need your expertise. Just 10 more matches and you'll meet your monthly quota. Please work your magic. So I have stood ready, wings fluttering, bow and quiver poised for the next infusion of love and whimsy, not in my life, but of those of my clients. Some sad creatures, forlorn teenagers, elderly widows looking for a second chance with love. Those men who just can't seem to get it right the first, second, third turn around the dance floor. Well, I am done playing the wallflower. I am Cupid, for God's sakes. I want to learn the rumba, the dance of love, with my beloved Psyche. I dream of sashaying across the universe, with her humming a sweet waltz close to my ear. I am done winging across the night skies. I want to nest at home, pierce my own skin with a gold-tipped arrow, fall into the arms of love with Psyche tumbling after me. I hereby resign from Magic Arrow Matchmaking. I am dissolving my company effective immediately. I leave no forwarding address or number to call for more information. I am no longer Cupid, CEO of Love International. I am now simply Cupid, husband of Psyche. Spread the word.